Israel. Who am I?
An Israelite.
Who am I?
An Israelite.
The book of Psalms, chapter 107, verse 19. Then they cried unto the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distresses. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions.
Shabbat Shalom, Israel. First, giving our praise to the Most High Yah and his beloved son, Amashah Yahushua. Today, we have another Sabbath class. As you can see the title, Patience, an essential key to your soul. I'm going to say that again. Patience, an essential key to your soul. As we continue to walk and build in the Spirit, we have to understand as we come back to the Father, you so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native American, that formed the 12 tribes of Israel. It's going to take patience for us to get delivered. It's going to take patience for us to get right with the Most High. It's going to take patience for us to correct ourselves through the Scriptures. So today, we want to definitely talk about the importance of patience. I'll go ahead and give you the definition of patience.
Patience, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset.
Read the similarities of patience.
Endurance, forbearance, consideration,
Okay.
perseverance, tolerance, restraint.
These are the characteristics of patience. These are the things that you should examine. Some of these similarities that we just brought up. You should be asking yourself, do I exemplify these things? Do my walk actually portray the elements of patience? So through the Spirit, we're going to get some understanding today. Let's start with Sirach, the book of Sirach in your Apocrypha, chapter 2 and verse 14. Apologize for sidebar, but I got to move with the Spirit. I want to show you the understanding. When you read this Bible, you have to understand, which we'll get that in Romans, the things that was written before time was written for our learning. The things that was written in this Bible was written for our learning. Let's see what we know about the element of patience and what does the Most High God say about patience and not having it. Let's see.
Verse 17.
Give me verse Sirach 2 and 14.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience.
So for my people to understand, woe means destruction. So when you read in the Bible, anytime it's saying woe, it's saying destruction. So read that again out.
Woe unto you that have lost patience.
Notice what he's saying. A lot of us, we come in the truth. We're excited. We know we the Israelites now. We're the chosen seed. But at some point, all they go out the door. We lose patience. We start falling back into the world. We start losing the elements of being able to forbear, to endure. Christianity gave you a joke song of the day. Every Sunday you went in and gave that man your money. And you came out feeling the same way you left. But every Sunday he recharged you up with nothing but vanities and lies. But now we realize in the Word of God, patience, the works of patience brings something towards our salvation. But read that again from the top up.
Woe unto you that have lost patience.
Okay.
And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you?
This is what you have to ask yourself. On Judgment Day, when that time comes, when you take your last breath, what you gonna say? Well, Lord, I knew I was Israelite. I mean, I was wearing fringes in the first 5 years. I did wear my fringes. This is what we have to consider. Give me Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 12 and verse 7 right quick. Because as we strive to be spiritual people, We have to think spiritual things. We have to learn to understand spiritual things. Because when you think about this is what you have to realize.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth.
So a lot of times we get caught up in investing a lot in our bodies. In everything we got going. We want to look good. Want to make sure my skin all right. The ladies want to make sure the nails good. Her feet done. At the end of the day, all that you done is going to go back to the what?
To the earth. As it was.
So you got to realize, they say exercise profit little, but it do profit. But at the same time, we have to realize this. Your body going to go back to the earth. But let's see where your soul going. Read on.
And the spirit.
And the what?
And the spirit.
Read.
Shall return unto God.
Guess what? Your soul going back to the Most High. Now, the thing is, we should be working on our soul more than anything now. It's okay to get your body, want to look good, want to be in shape, that's good. But if your soul corrupt, when he go back to the Most High, what did he say? Woe to you. Destruction unto you. So let's get built up a little more. Give me St. John chapter 6 and verse 63. As we continue to build towards the Spirit, we have to realize how we're going to do these things. How we're going to build the Spirit. As we continue our walk, we got to ask ourselves, are we getting fed? Am I getting understanding? The Bible says a good understanding comes from all them that do his commandments. But at the same time, are we doing it in sincere and truth? Are we just doing what it say, get along to go along? Watch this. Read this right quick, God.
The book of John, chapter 6, verse 63. It is the spirit.
It is the what?
It is the spirit that quickeneth.
Understand, it's your spirit that brings you to life. And I share this with you. I'm going to just tell y'all something. I was watching, y'all probably seen it on social media. It was, which is abominable food, but it was catfish, right? It was a live catfish. Was gutted out. The catfish was gutted out, guts, everything out, brains out, and the catfish was still moving around. And it just showed the catfish had parasites in it. So when you think about it, the body is nothing without the soul. So when you think about it, read that again out.
It is the spirit that quickeneth.
Because all people feel like this. Y'all, as a nation, we act like the body is borrowing the soul. But we have to understand, the soul is borrowing the body. We praying to get out these bodies. If we make it to that, if we make it, but watch this, read on.
The flesh profited nothing.
So we realize the flesh profited you nothing. It's all temporary, right?
The words that I speak unto you.
When we come into this Bible, the words that's coming out this Bible, the oracle that was only given to us. Let's find out. Read.
They are spirit.
So to feed your spirit, you got to be dealing and walking in the will of the Father. Read.
And they are life.
And this is what's going to give us life. Now, in the process of getting this, we have to realize this, we're coming back into our inheritance. We're coming back into building with each other. Give me 2 Chronicles chapter 15 and verse 3. We always got to understand, because a lot of times people go into the format of, why things are how they are now. Not knowing and not getting a good understanding. You know what I'm saying? We see what's going on with our people. We see we have a bad, I ain't gonna lie to you. We hard to get along with. You take an Israelite, you take a so-called African American or Hispanic and move us around any other nation, and we jail real well. We cool, we collected, but around our own people, we have a problem with each other. Like we always say, we go out there and teach. If we look like Joel Osteen, they'll at least listen. Even if they didn't agree with what we were saying, they'll at least listen. No, for sure. They'll walk off, I don't agree, but what they do, look, they stop. Yeah. Talk bad. But guess what? Watch it. Read this. This is what we have to realize. Read.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 3.
Yes, sir.
Now, for a long season,
For a long season, which is captivity, which is hard bondage. Read.
Israel,
Who?
Israel,
Read.
had been without the true God
Knowing that we've been without a true God. Read.
and without a teaching priest
Notice what we've been lacking for thousands of years. Read.
and without law
And without what?
and without law.
Read. That's it. Give me Hosea 3 and chapter 3 and verse 4 now. So knowing this, why we don't understand patience? Why we dealing with why we operate how we operate? Yes, we coming back together. Yeah, we know we the Israelites now. But I'm gonna tell you like this, and I share this with our people. What 60 years don't erase 2,000-3,000 years of hard bondage. Being without the Father, Heavenly Father, being without understanding. 65 years don't erase these things. Read that right quick out.
The book of Hosea, chapter 3, verse 4. For the children of Israel
For the children of Israel, read.
shall abide many days without a king
Without a king, read.
and without a prince
Come on now.
and without a sacrifice.
Knowing back then, to get out of sin, we had to do an animal sacrifice. We went many years, many moons without this, read.
And without an image.
Okay, without it what?
And without an
When
image.
you read and understand, and we always talk about this now, and the Bible speaks about it, what it say, without a vision, the people perish. If you don't have nothing like, for example, we go to work, and we know, and we look forward to what? Getting paid. Picture working, and you never know when you're going to get a reward.
That's right.
Pictures long suffering, and you don't even know what it's worth.
That's right.
You don't even know the benefits of it. These are things that we were dealing with. These are things that our people that have not awakened, they still dealing with. But read on.
And without an ephod.
I understand it was very intrigued with the Levites with the ephod. Matter of fact, I got a little information on it. Will you read that for me out? This is dealing with the Levites. This is dealing with our teachers. This at the time the high priest was edifying and teaching the 12 tribes. But read on. Read
Ephod, a linen apron,
okay.
worn in ancient Hebrew rites.
Come on now.
Especially a vestment for the high priest, an ancient Hebrew instrument of priestly divination.
And now, as you look, a lot of brothers, we wear the ephod, the pretty much all stones, 12 stones of the 12 tribes. But the Levites used to wear a garment that had the stones on the breastplate of their chest. This is what they wore. Go ahead and read some more on it.
There were two sorts, one of plain linen,
Okay.
the other embroidered for the high priest.
Okay.
On the part in front were two precious stones, on which were engraved the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. Before the breast was a square piece or breastplate.
So these are things that we had. These was custom that we had, that we embraced. We come into this captivity, we got all abominable things now. But this is what our forefathers had. Read on.
And without teraphim.
Read on.
Afterward.
Hold on, what is it?
Afterward.
This is future prophecy unfolding right now. Afterwards, coming to the latter days, they're coming to where we at now. Afterwards, read.
Shall the children of Israel return.
Okay.
And seek.
And do what?
And seek
read.
The Lord their God. And David.
Okay.
Their king. And shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days. Like
this is what we talking about, Israel. In the process of doing this. You know, they said we come from many different folds, but none of the folds was up on the righteousness. None of the folds was up on the obedience to the Most High. And we understand that a perfection of love is keeping the commandments. Only way we can show true love to our nation is by abiding in the will of the Heavenly Father. If no other way. But at the same time, I say this with love as we continue to try to build and grow. be honest with you, Israel, we jacked up. We messed up in the head. This is where patience is going to play a very important role in this growth and in this development. Go ahead and give me Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Because we heard this precept. We embrace it. But when we actually do it, boy, it's hell in hot water. I tell people all the time. I heard people talk about they been in the truth 10 years. They been in the truth 15 years. And I said, who you fellowship with? Oh, no, just me and my wife. That's what the Bible say. Read that right quick, guys.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Okay.
Yea, gather together.
Okay.
O nation.
No, just your wife.
O nation.
Just your children.
O
For the
nation.
Most High God to require all the 12 tribes. Old nation, read.
Not desired.
Come on, what nation is not desired? What nation is called a byword from the four corners of the earth? Come on now, read.
Before the decree.
We should be doing it before destruction comes. In the process of doing this is what you have to realize. You think you messed up. Somebody next door to you more messed up than you. I want y'all to understand this patient thing. If you don't have patience, how you going to get delivered? Watch this. Before the decree, read on.
Bring forth before the day pass.
Okay.
As the chaff before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
Okay.
Before the day of the Lord's anger.
Here's what?
The day of the Lord's anger
Read.
come upon you. Seek ye the Lord.
This is what we should do. That's all I want on that. As we realize this, the perfection of your walk, the perfection of the commandments, it only going to jail when you build with your nation. Think about it. I had a friend tell me before. He said, hey, big dog. He said, I've been off drugs 12 years. I ain't there now drug in 12 years. I said, I ain't seen him in a while. I said, all praise, man, that's pretty good, bro. Where you been? I was locked up. How long you locked up? 12 years. I don't want to hear you do no drugs.
Oh.
This is what Israel do. The perfection of keeping the commandments, you got to build with your nation. Think about it. If you isolate yourself, or you really getting tried through the fire. Mm-hmm. See, the thing is, you can't say you have patience and you only deal with yourself.
That's right.
You can't say, I love my people unconditionally, and you're only dealing with your wife and your children. This is why the Most High is telling us it's going to take patience. Because when you gather together, you think you a fool, there's a bigger fool somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I think my grandma used to tell me that. You think you the big bad wolf? Mm-hmm. It's somewhere else got a meaner attitude than you. Mm-hmm. Watch this. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 10. Coming together is critical. But we got to perfect, and the Most High know it. He's looking at us like the Million Man March. Did that ever change anything? Tell me, what did the Million Man March do? It made some good posters and calendars, some good reviews, but did it change our condition? Did it change anything about anything that's been going on with us that's unjust? No, it has not. Watch it. As we come together, read the right we got.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord, Yahushua Christ, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions.
No what?
That there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind, in the same judgment.
Israel, this is not going to happen overnight. This is not going to happen overnight. This is what we have to understand. The perfection of patience have to take its tour. It got to take its tour. You got to understand the process of having patience. The process and what patience perfects. Give me Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 12. In the process of developing and growing, we must do the best we can.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 12. For the perfecting.
Hold up, for the what?
For the perfecting of the saints.
So this is what we have to realize. When we come together, we have to realize the Most High God has blessed us as a nation.
That's right.
We have to build on the talent that we have. Watch this. Read on. For the what?
For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry.
Okay.
For the edifying.
For the what?
For the edifying.
Read.
Of the body.
Of the what?
Of the body.
Which is the nations, the 12 tribes. Read.
Of Christ, till we all come.
Hold on. Say that again.
Till we all come.
This is what we have to realize. I talk to my brothers. I talk to the sisters too. The ministry, and I know the men, we do the ministry, but guess what, sister? Y'all ministry is in y'all walk.
That's right.
Some sisters are going to learn more from what you do than what you say. We have to understand, as we working together, sisters knowing how to sew, sisters knowing how to love their husband, teaching the younger sisters to do the same, bringing up the children. These are the things. This is part of your ministry. Some of y'all sisters that's here today, this is part of your walk. This is part of your ministry. I want y'all to understand, ministry don't always mean you got to be talking and teaching. It's your action. People see your obedience. So continue this way. Read 13 again. Until what?
Till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God.
We got to keep fighting this, read.
Unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ.
We always say this over, striving for perfection. Striving for perfection. You got to keep pushing yourself. I talk to my brothers all the time. And I know they say, well, in Cap, we tired of you saying that. I say, I'm going to say it till the kingdom comes. Never stop building. Never stop learning. And Officer Uriah say, well, be a better man tomorrow than you was today. This is what we have to realize. In the process of doing all this, give me 1 John chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 6. A lot of time, Israel, we lose patience. We lose focus. Because when you lose patience, you're going to lose focus. And we forget. And we start what they call just going through the motion. Going through the motion. Not embracing the word of God. Not being in a position to be grateful that he woke you up. Because guess what? Contrary to what the world think, it wasn't a mega pastor. It wasn't a precept king. Because guess what? We get the same scriptures to everybody. That's right. But guess what? He chose you to wake up and embrace it. Deuteronomy 28:6, they've been read to a lot of brothers and sisters. But guess what? The ones that's listening today, he chose y'all to embrace it and be able to relate to it. That's right. Watch this. Read that right, we got.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 6. He that said he abided in him,
come on now,
ought himself also so to walk.
He should do what?
Ought himself also so to walk. Even as he walked.
Even as he walked. Read.
Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you.
When you think about it, we talk about Yahweh Shai. When you think about it, say, if he abide in us, we should walk how he walked. Was Yahweh Shai laying low? Or was he amongst his people?
That's right.
He was only amongst the righteous ones. The Bible says he was amongst the sinners.
That's right.
He came for the sinners.
That's right.
This is the thing that Israel have trouble with. We have trouble dealing with ourselves. Because guess what? We can't get past ourselves. That's right. We are biggest stumbling block. That's right. Oh, man, I got it. When I heard about the truth, man, I came in. But that was you, how? It might take this brother 2 years. It might take this sister 2 or 3 years. That's right. Guess what? It might take you being persistent in your walk. This is what we have to realize. We put tags on each other. That's right. And we make things grievous for each other. Well, I just feel like you should have. Well, sis, I showed y'all. That's my second time showing you. Well, show her a third time. If she's still willing to learn, show her again. But we lose patience. But guess who was patient with us? We gonna get there. Read on now.
But an old commandment,
This is the old commandment, read.
which ye had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning.
Come on now.
Again, a new commandment I write unto you,
Okay.
which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past, and the true light now shineth.
We have this understanding now. Read on.
He that said he is in the light and hated his brother
And hated is what?
and hated his brother
Read.
is in darkness.
It goes, we know the Bible went written in a manly form, but it goes into the sister too. A lot of time, sis still owe me $40. And why you ain't call her? I'm just saying she still owe me money. We got a pre-sale for that. But is that patient? Because guess what? At some point in your life, you still owe somebody too.
That's right.
Instead of saying, you know what, I was blessed to give her that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Are we dealing with each other with patience? Examine ourselves.
That's right.
Read on.
Even until now, he that loveth his
He
brother,
that do what?
he that loveth his brother
Read.
abideth in the light.
You're going to deal with patience. Because we know the Father was patient with us. You're going to deal, you're going to operate, you're going to, what we say here at COL, we're going to always give our brother a benefit of the doubt. I'm going to get a little more personal with it. Give your brother and sister that's laboring with you a benefit of the doubt. Think about it. You can't even get a person that you see every Shabbat, that you talk to on occasion, a benefit of the doubt. How you going to deal with a newcomer? How you going to deal with a sister come here? Is you going to greet her with a holy kiss? The sister that you deal with every week, you don't treat her right. Or the brother you deal with every week, you don't treat him right. This is what we have to examine. When the patient leaves, the love leaves. I hope she don't say nothing to me today. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm mad like I'm reading my Bible. I don't love it. Come on, man. Come on now. Read on up.
And there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
Come on now.
But he that hated his brother.
He that what?
But he that hated his brother.
So when you hate your brother and your sister, you do conniving things. You do a lot of mischievous things. And you see the hurt on your brother and sister's face, and you smile. And you grin. You do a lot of mischievous things. I'm going to tell you like this. When you truly abide in the will of the Father, when she hurt, you hurt. When he hurt, you hurt. That's understanding, that compassion, and that patience and that understanding. But when you don't abide in that love, he over there, man. Full of shit. I ain't worried about whatever. Back in the world, we would say, fight, come with it. It don't matter.
That's right.
But when you start embracing and understanding, I gotta be patient with you. Because I love you. And I gotta show the perfection of your house shine me. I gotta show love to you. You hurted me, but I'm still gonna show love to you.
That's right.
Read on out.
But he that hated his brother is in darkness.
You're in darkness. Read on.
And walketh in darkness.
Because look here, you ain't trying to hear nothing. You really, I only know why you calling me. That's the spirit that Israel be in at times, man. Read on.
And knoweth not whither he goeth. Because that darkness.
That what?
Because that darkness.
Share this with you, Israel. Because you lost patience towards your brother and sister. The world call it karma, right? But the Most High call it judgment. Because you lost patience for your brother and sister. But you praying to the Father and he, oh Lord, be patient with me. I know I said I wasn't going to do this again. I know it is my third time this week. But we don't even show patience towards our brother and sister. Let's see. And when you don't show this patience, he say you do what? Because the what?
Because that darkness had blinded his eyes.
You can't even see straight no more. You get to a point in your walk where you feel like, man, the Most High ain't tripping with me handling this brother like this. Most High ain't tripping with me dealing with this sister like this. Oh, she ain't pay me back the money. Sis might be eating noodles every day.
That's right.
Sis might likes me out.
That's right.
Oh, she ain't pay me my money. I ain't trying to hear it.
That's right.
You know what? Let me see what's going on with sis. Or let me see what's going on with brother.
That's right.
Let me pull up. Oh, eviction notice on the door.
That's right.
We got to understand this patience and this love we got to have for each other.
That's right.
Give me Luke chapter 8, and we're going to start at verse 11. Because dealing with Israel, I'm going to get into the 4 types of Israelites real quick. Because when we lose patience, we have to understand the parable that Yahushua kind of spoke on. And always you want to examine, in this parable, where do you fall at? Watch this. Read that out.
The book of Luke, chapter 8, verse 11. Mm-hmm. Now the parable is this. The seed is the word of God.
Okay.
Those by the wayside.
Now understand, the awakened Israelites, the 12, we out here teaching, speaking out this Bible, teaching the oracles to our people. This is the seed that is being sowed. Read on.
Are they that hear?
That what?
Are they that hear?
Going into the wayside, going into the highways and the byway. These are the ones that's hearing the word. Read.
Then cometh the devil.
Hold up, then what?
Then cometh the devil.
Read on. Devil mean deceiver. Devil just ain't the Esau. The devil sometimes is our people as well. So devil mean to deceive. So coming a deceiver. Read. That's what they do.
And taketh away the word.
Come on, man. Hey, we're going to die for something. God don't work tripping about us smoking. No, he ain't worrying about us breaking the Sabbath. Every day is holy. And he do what? Take it what?
And take it away the word.
Come on now.
Out of their hearts.
Which is their mind. Read.
Lest they should believe and be saved.
Watch this. Read on.
They on the rock.
They on the rock. Read.
Are they which, when they hear, receive the word.
So this is one part, a type of Israelite. The one that's on the rock, they're not on a solid foundation. But they hear the word. Oh, yeah, hold on, wait. Yeah, Christ, he black man? He like me? Oh, yeah, I like that. Oh, the white man going into captivity? Oh, man, that was up. But watch this. They hear the word, read.
With joy,
they crunk about this.
And these have no root.
But they have no foundation. But they solid, though. They ready to do the work. They ready to go out handle their business. I'm talking about what they say, turned up. They amped up. But they have no foundation. The element of patience is a time frame for patience. You can't go to sleep tonight and wake up, I got patience. No, it don't work like that. No, sir. No, ma'am. He say, they have what?
No root.
They have no foundation. Read.
Which for a while believe.
They believe for a while. They all in the game with it. Hey, man, because guess what? It's all like this. When you learn your Israelite, when you learn the elements of the commandments and so forth, this is what you have to understand. I always say people feel like it get good and good. But I think King Solomon said what? With the increase of knowledge come what? Increased sorrow. That's right. So at first you like, man, I'm feeling this. I'm going to rebuke. I'm going to do all these things. And it feels good to you. Read on.
And in time of temptation.
But in time of temptation, because they don't have that solid foundation, read.
Fall away.
They do what?
Fall away.
Because it went from not having patience. It went from, well, like my brother always say, that microwave effect. You want it quick. You want it now, the popcorn effect. But let's see what happened. Read verse 14.
Verse 14. And that which fell among thorns.
Because some fell among thorns. Read.
Are they which, when they have heard, go forth.
They do what?
Go forth.
Now the element of thorns can be anything uncomfortable in your life. Your husband could be a thorn if he's not in the truth. Your wife could be a thorn. Your children could be a thorn. So you heard the word, but you're in an uncomfortable situation. Let's see what happened. Read.
And are choked.
And are what?
And are choked.
Now let's see. Hold on. And you choke. Let's see. What's choking? Why are you being choked? Read.
With cares.
With what?
With cares.
When you go into the format of cares, you focusing on the wrong thing. And read on.
And riches.
Riches goes into the element of fame. Riches goes into the element of popularity. See, when we always try to talk and build with brothers and sisters, you got to do this with sincerity. You got to do this. You can't do this to be trying to gain something. Because if you in to try to gain something other than that one penny that leads to the kingdom, you ain't gonna make it. Some of our people trying to get the glory now. They trying to get the praises now. I'm gonna edify this brother, man. I'm gonna look good edifying him. You know, I'm gonna ask another brother how I look doing it. It ain't in sincerity. And guess what? When you murmur to that brother, the other brother might didn't hear it, but guess what? The most I heard it.
That's right.
Most I smiled until you said that.
That's right.
God, he looking for praise.
That's right.
Cut the camera off. Wait. I'm gonna stop. Cut the camera off. This is what Israel do. And I'm speaking towards the nation. This is what Israel do. But the Father sees everything.
That's right.
Now watch this. Read on.
And pleasures.
And what?
And pleasures.
Read.
Of this life.
Pleasure of this life. Read.
And bring no fruit.
They bring no fruit. Read.
To perfection.
Nothing to perfection. What they say, everything glitter ain't gold.
Right.
And this is where, as we continue to build the spirit, everybody went through this phase at one point. The question is, can you recover from that phase? Because we all get excited, get all Trump says, you know how to make a wonderful garment or dress, and you get excited. But guess what? You got to bring yourself back to reality. Galatians 6:3 right quick. This is the process of building through the spirit. Because the thing about it, we understand Satan jump in and out of our people. And guess what? He don't got to stay long. He just stay long enough to mess things up. And he jump up out you. That's why we have to realize in this spiritual battle, it's real easy to get puffed up. Watch this. Read that right quick, God.
The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something.
He think himself to be what?
For if a man think himself to be something.
Going into that type of Israelite, the one that's on rocky ground. He's excited, he's filled with joy, but at the same time, he don't have a foundation. And he's not paying attention to it. He's ready to go rebuke, he's ready to go do everything. Sister learn how to friend. She's one of the baddest friends in the city. And they get beside themselves. That's why the Bible says, gather yourself together. I always say, it never happened. I always say, if I ever became wealthy, I want to have people around me that'll check me. Why you got a Gucci watch on a puppy? Why the dog got a $300 sweater? I want somebody to be around me to check me. Because guess what? When you by yourself, read that again.
For if a man think himself to be something.
Oh, man, I'm doing it. I'm the sneak in the city, what they say, right? When a man think he's something and you're not dealing with righteous people or you're isolating yourself, who's there to talk to you? Read on.
When he is nothing.
When he is what?
When he is nothing.
Read.
He deceiveth himself.
You deceive your own self. Read on.
But let every man prove his own work.
Prove his own work. Read.
And then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone.
What?
In himself alone.
Proving your own self, it takes time. Proving your own self, it takes patience. This is what you have to realize. When you're dealing in that spirit, you have to realize a lot of time, Israel, I look at the element of this. The Bible says study to show thyself approved. I look at the three formats. Study, pray, because Because we know prayer is meditation to the Most High. And then apply. A lot of times we get in a position where we get puffed up. We start making our own element of righteousness. We start speaking like we're not in captivity. We start saying things that is not becoming of the spirit of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And these things can be a stumbling block. Since you're not friends yet? Ah, man, girl, how long you been having your sewing machine? Girl, I learned in 2 weeks. That's a stumbling block. Because guess what? She might smile in your face to keep her composure. She might get on and tell her husband, sell that damn thing. Sell it. I don't know how to do it. We got to be mindful of how we deal with our people. Everybody's not going to get it how you got it. Everybody's not going to say the words how you would have said it. But do we write them off? Do we murmur? I mean, the dress all right, sis, but I would have did it like this. Cynthia, you asked you about this. This is our first dress. You'd have broke the spirit. We have to learn. It's a continuous cycle, but it's going to take patience. The question is, do we have that patience? Think about this. Being puffed up. Give me Romans chapter 12, verse 3. Because I'm still dealing with chapter 13 and 14 of Luke. Romans chapter 12, verse 3. And these are things that you don't master and then you move on. You got to continue to keep reminding yourself. As I teach y'all, I'm teaching myself. You got to make sure. I like how my brother John always say, like the scripture say, you got to become the one that's mighty among you. I'm paraphrasing. Have to become as a servant.
That's right.
The more knowledge you know, the meek you have to be.
That's right.
When people are hurt, you got to feel their pain.
That's right.
All people got to understand it. It's a reminder day in and day out. That's why we come to the Shabbat class. A lot of times people, I want to learn something that I ain't know. Sometimes you need to reteach yourself what you do know. Watch this. Read it right quick out.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly.
More what?
More highly.
You look at these prophets, man, they was not competing with each other. They were not battling with each other like this. Read on.
Then he ought to think, but to think soberly.
But to do what?
But to think soberly, according as God had dealt to every man the measure of faith.
This is what we have to realize. As we try to join together, we try to continue to build, we got to be mindful of how we operate. We got to, because the Bible says every idle word you say, you're going to be held accountable for. Even if you feel like it was the right thing to say at the right time, you got to be accountable for that. Because he said, if you offend one of these little ones, that what? Believe on him. Did he say, you offend one of these little ones that's perfect in everything they do? No. If you offend the one that's trying to do the right thing, you're going to have to deal with them. Watch this. Give me Romans chapter 12 and verse 16. Do we have that patience, Israel? That's what we got to ask ourselves. Read on.
Verse 16. Be of the same mind.
You should be of the same mind. Read.
One toward another.
Okay.
Mind not high things.
Mind not high things. Read.
But condescend to men of low estate.
Embracing each other. Going back into the element of patience, endurance, forbearing, consideration. That one word alone.
That's right.
You know what? I'm tripping about $40. I make $40 an hour.
That's right.
I don't even think brother got a job right now. Do we consider what we say? Do we consider, and I tell people all the time, you just can't consider you, you got to consider their situation.
That's right.
You can't say, well, if I was you, I would have did this. Well, you got to consider my situation too. This is going into that burn one another burden. But read on, finish it up.
Be not wise in your own conceits.
Come on now.
Continue.
That's all I want. Be not wise in your own conceit. As we continue this walk, we have to realize this. Give me that in Sirach chapter 20 and verse 32. Be not wise in your own conceit, in your own thoughts, in your own mind. Ain't no one can tell you nothing. We have to examine everything through a pure heart. Dealing with patience, dealing with the Most High. Let's see what the Bible says. Read that right quick, guys.
The book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 32. Necessary patience.
Hold up, it say what?
Necessary patience.
So it said necessary patience, read.
And seeking the Lord.
And doing what?
And seeking the Lord.
If you don't have patience, that wisdom that you're trying to get, that understanding that you're trying to get, is not going to come to you. You have to have patience when it comes to this Bible. You got to think about our forefathers actually lived a little longer than what we was living.
That's right.
Our time is short. You know what I'm saying? We had go back in Genesis and all that. They living 300, 400 years.
That's right.
So read that again out.
Necessary patience and seeking the Lord,
okay,
is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide.
He said you necessary patience. It is very important for us to get out this, like I say, this microwave type spirit, this microwave type faith. It got to happen now. It got to be now. It needs to be on point now. Israel, we messed up. But we still want the Father to have patience with us. Give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 11. Because I'm going to just show you something. Some people study, and once they get a little knowledge, they out to the races. It's like this. Right. When you have that spirit on you, I'm gonna make an example. You young kid in the hood, right? Grew up. Everybody picked on you, talked about you, made fun of you, beat you up. Then you get about 16, your mama put you in karate class. You learn a couple of moves. You pretty good in karate. You'd have made your way up to a black belt. And the first thing you do, you go back to that same hood where you have no respect. And you waiting on somebody to try it. You bumping on people, you stepping on people's shoes. Ain't nobody bothering you today. You don't know what's going on. When you think about it, Israel, the true element of being humble, of studying, because think about it, and I know this just from experience and talking to people, the true karate masters don't even want to fight.
That's right.
Don't even want no trouble. They be the coldest one. When they do fight, you like, oh God, go. Man, y'all better leave that cat alone. And you watch them. They be like, hey, I don't want no trouble. But it always be that one. He learned a little bit. He ain't even a black belt. Oh, he going to the blocks. Y'all can feel me. He the study, but his study is in vain. Now watch it. I'm going to bring it to a spiritual form. I had to go corner so you can catch it. Now watch it. The Bible tells us this. A lot of people don't read these precepts. They go into that study to show our self-approval. But watch this. First Thessalonians 4 and 11.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 4, verse 11. And that ye study.
That ye study, read.
To be quiet.
Oh, well, hold up. I'll read that again.
And that ye study. To be quiet.
How many people bring that precept out? How many people bring that precept out? It say you study to what?
To be quiet.
Because guess what? You got to get the foundation now.
That's right.
All people get built up and they want to run to the block. Bro, the Most High God is telling, hey, Daniel, son, calm down. What was that? Wax on, wax off. He went in there, no, I want to learn all this. In this study, what does the Bible say? Read that again out.
And that ye study to be quiet.
Hold your peace. Your time gonna come. You can't make your time come. It gonna come when it come. Some people want it now. They want the glory now. Wait till I see Esau. Was there Revelation leading to captivity? Oh, I'm gonna cut him up. Read that again. I finished it out. Study to what?
To be quiet
Come on now.
and to do your own
And
business
to do your own business, read.
and to work with your own hands.
Come on, man. Stay focused. Get built up. Yeah, you might be seasoned. But the fact you got to tell people you seasoned, you're not seasoned. Think about it. I heard this from my brother Cain. He say killers don't never talk about killing. A killer ain't going to even tell you that he a killer. Come on now. These are things that we got to build on. See, when you think about it, you study. You finish it out for me.
As we commanded you.
Come on now. So check this out. Some people study for vainglory. Some people study for self-importance. When you go into that route, Israel, you become, how can I say this? You know a lot, but you have mastered none. You know, look, you're a jack of all trade. In this captivity, that sounds good. You know a bunch of stuff. You familiar with a lot of things, but you haven't mastered nothing. You know about the commandments. You know about the feast days, but you haven't mastered nothing. I know I'm supposed to love my brother, but have you mastered it? I know I'm supposed to love my sister, but have you mastered it? See, this word they take just be good, just be all right. You know, you good here and good there. But are we trying to perfect and master the understanding of how we should be operating?
That's
They're gonna take patience. You can't just read that and go, I'm gonna go out there and get them. Nah, I'm gonna sit my butt down. Let me make sure I understand it. Well, they said, let me digest this. Let me chew this all the way up. Israel don't want to hear that. Ah, you slowing me down. Oh, no, you slowing me down. All right. Watch this. Give me first. We're gonna stay. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 11. Because we got a song my brother wrote called "Striving for Perfection." Perfection is trying to line things up.
right.
Perfection is just not trying to be a jack of all trade. I'm trying to get this thing.
That's right.
What they say, I heard you before, but I got it now. This is what Israel should be trying to do. Don't take it as disrespect when someone say, hey, bro, we got to keep building. We ain't there. I ain't there. I speak for yourself. Well, all right. Okay. All right. Well, watch this. Read it right quick, God.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 11. These things command and teach.
And T, let's find out. Read.
Let no man despise thy youth,
Don't despise y'all, you read.
but be thou an example
Okay.
of the believers.
Hold on. So the element of being an example, that means you got to put things into action. Since I give you the precept all day. But if I don't show the perfection of me loving my husband, what I'm going to tell you? See, I could tell you about, your husband want the house clean, but when you come to my house ain't never clean. What does it say? Be a what?
But be thou an example of the believers.
Come on.
In word.
In word.
In conversation.
In conversation. This is what we have to understand. We have to be an example in every aspect. Well, your patience at Israel. See, this time right here. Conversation. Building up in word. See, this is not a quick hitter. This is not the popcorn effect. Read on.
And charity.
Come on now.
And spirit. In faith. And purity. Till I come.
Hold on, you say till he what?
Till I come.
Because I tell us we got to deal like this. In patience. In sincerity. We got to deal like this. No. What do you say? Till he what?
Till I come.
No, till you get tired.
Till I come.
No, till she pay me my money back.
Till I come.
No, man, till he apologize.
Till I come.
You got to show that patience. You got to show that patience. He say till he come. Finish it out.
Give attendance to reading. To exhortation. To doctrine.
This is what we should be doing. This is how we should be operating. I'm gonna show you something and we give this understanding how we did. I'm gonna be honest with you. Think about this. I'm gonna try to make this quick. I ain't trying to go long today, but the Spirit is trying to tell me to tell y'all something. telling me something too. Would you want the Most High to handle you how you handle your brother? Would you be cool with that? Would you want the Most High to deal with you how you deal with your sister? Some of y'all like, oh, no. Don't do it. No, I don't want that. But this is what we putting out there. Watch this. We have to realize this. John chapter 1 and verse 17. At one point, in Israel do this. Sisters get built up, brothers get built up, and then you look down on your people. You lose patience for your people. Oh, Lord, I'm ready for Most High to burn this place down. Okay, now you don't repent, and now you ready for the place to burn up. You repent, and now you ready for the Yahweh to come back. That's a selfish way to think. Well, watch this. We have to realize this. Read that right, God.
The book of John, chapter 1, verse 17. For the law was given by Moses.
Because understand, we got the law through Moses when we came out of captivity. But guess what? Read on.
But grace.
But what?
But grace.
Guess what we have to deal with? This ties up with that patience. Because remember, when the law, and you were caught in a homosexual act, was it a negotiation? Did you have a trial? You got stoned in the act if they caught you. But through Yahweh Shai, he said the law was given to what? For the law.
For the law was given by Moses.
What y'all think about this? Read.
But grace and truth came by Yahweh Shai.
When Yahweh Shai stepped on the scene, he gave us the opportunity to get it right. When he stepped on the scene, he gave us that patience. He gave us that grace period to get it right. Now watch this. Dealing with patience. Let's see a little patience that Yahweh Shai showed. Give me John chapter 8 and verse 3. We're going to start at verse 3. Because guess what? In the ignorance, I'm going to say, of our people, Yahweh Shai showed great patience. Let's see how he did. Because the Bible says we should walk, if he's in us, we should walk how he walked.
That's right.
Did they always say the right things to Yahweh Shai? We're going to find out. I'm going to show you patience at its best. Dealing with our king. Watch this. Read that right, we got.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 3. And the scribes and Pharisees.
So these are what you call well-learned individuals in the law of God, of Moses. Read.
Brought unto him a woman.
Okay.
Taken in adultery.
So this one was taken in adultery. Now, we just read, I just brought up, in the Old Testament, pretty much dealing with the Torah. You get caught in adultery, you get put to death. I'm going to show you what's going on. Read on.
And when they had set her in the midst,
okay,
they said unto him, Master,
okay,
this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act.
So in the very act, so they talking to you at Howard Shai now. Now, this, like I say, this is the word became flesh. He is the book. They talking to him.
That's right.
I'm going to show you the ignorance and what's going on. They really being very disrespectful, but they trying to play it cool. See, the woman was caught in the act. Let's see what they say. Read on.
Now Moses.
Now notice they bringing it up. Not knowing this who's dealing with Moses. He said, now Moses, read.
And the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
Now they coming to him. But what you say? We know what the law say. We know what Moses brought. But what you say? Son of God, you got to think about the mockery they was dealing with Yahweh Shai. They weren't coming to him meek and humble in spirit. They really trying to test the brother. Watch this. Read on.
This, they said, tempting him.
Hold up. Doing what?
This, they said, tempting him.
Come on, our people play with us today. Somebody right now, you can think about last week saying something to you very disrespectful. Knowing that you don't rock like that. They tempted Yahweh Shai. Read on.
That they might have to accuse him. But Yahweh Shai stooped down.
He did what?
But Yahweh Shai stooped down.
He got pissed off.
But Yahweh Shai stooped down.
Yahweh Shai showed great composure and patience. He said he stooped down. Read.
And with his finger.
And with his what?
And with his finger.
Read.
Wrote on the ground.
You got to think about, he probably like 1,000, 2,000. Showing great patience because they were testing the Son of God. Showing great patience because they brought up, well, we know what Moses and the law said, but we want to know what you said. Holier than thou. But he showed great patience. Right in the ground, read on.
As though he heard them not.
Some of y'all right now flip over tape. Oh, she got me messed up. He said he showed great and ignored them. Giving them a chance. Like, I know y'all didn't. Okay, I'm gonna just keep writing in the ground. Read on.
So when they continue
dealing with him in this unjust matter, read.
asking him, he lifted up himself.
He lifted up himself, read.
And said unto them, he that is without sin
Come on now.
among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
Come on now.
And again he stooped down.
And then he showed more patience. After he said that, he stooped back down. Because you know they were probably looking at him crazy. Okay. So, we talking about her. No, we ain't talking about us. He stooped back down again. Do you understand the patience that Yahweh was showing? He just told him, man, he come to do the will of his Father. And y'all playing with me. He stooped back down, read.
And wrote on the ground. And they which heard it,
Come on now.
being convicted.
Being what?
Being convicted.
Read.
By their own conscience.
Come on now.
Went out one by one.
Read on.
Beginning at the eldest.
Beginning at the eldest, read.
Even unto the last.
So from the elder to the last, man, come on, read on.
And Yahushua was left alone.
And he was what?
He was left
Come on
alone.
now.
And the woman standing in the midst. When Yahushua had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Had no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Yahushua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee.
Come on now.
Go and sin no more.
What did Christ say?
Go and sin no more.
Come on, man. Come on now. We say he abide in us, but what we show cold with how we deal with each other. He said, go and sin no more. Give me that in give me Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. The spirit that we must show. The spirit that we must have. The spirit that we must be walking in. We have to have patience. Everything ain't going to be glitter and gold. I used to hear a person say this in the workforce, right? And oh man, my next job I get, I hope I get a good manager, man. I want a good manager. Guess what? The manager want to have good employees. You know what I'm saying? And the truth, man, I hope I get a good leadership team. But guess what? The leadership team want to have good soldiers. Want to have good brothers and sisters in your house shop.
That's right.
See, the thing about it, people always look at it one-sided.
That's right.
Man, them brothers ain't where they need to be. Well, guess what? Are you praying for your brother? Are you praying for your sister? Or what they say? Are you causing more problems? Or are you helping with the solution? These are things that we got to examine day in and day out. Read that right, God.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 12. Put on, therefore,
Come on now.
as the elect of God,
Okay.
holy and beloved, bowels of mercies.
Okay. Bowels of what?
Bowels of mercies,
Read.
kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering,
Come on now.
forbearing one another.
Doing what?
Forbearing one another
Read.
and forgiving one another.
We should be operating like this. Read.
If any man have a quarrel against any, Even as Christ forgave you.
Whoa. Read, even as who?
Even as Christ forgave you.
Read.
So also do ye.
Read on.
And above all these things,
Okay.
put on charity.
Put on what?
Put on charity.
Come on, man. That's having a well-being, care about your people. If I know I hurt my brother, why would I hurt him again the next day?
That's right.
If I know I offended my sister, why I do the same thing the next day?
That's right.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. But if it hurts you, it hurts me.
That's right.
This is the spirit that Yahweh want us to have. Finish it out.
Which is the bond of perfectness.
Okay.
And
that's all I want. Now check this out, Israel. When we lose patience, this is what happened. Ecclesiastes in 7 and 8 right quick. When we lose patience, we have to realize what happened. A lot of times people say, well, I lose patience, it is what it is. But something else happens when you lose that patience. It's a domino effect. When you lose patience, read this, bro.
the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 8. Better is the end of a thing
Come on now.
than the beginning thereof. And the patient
read.
in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
Read that again out. And the what is
And
spirit?
the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
Because when you get tired, when you lose patience, this what happens. Read out verse 9.
Be not hasty in thy spirit.
So when you proud in the spirit, you very hasty. You saying all type of derogatory things. You don't care you hurt him, her, the little cub and the little baby that's sitting right there. You don't care at all. You gonna say, tell it how it is.
That's right.
Because you angry now. You upset now. So if the Bible say, read verse 9 again.
Be not hasty in thy spirit.
Come on.
To be angry. For anger rested in the bosom of fools.
You become foolish when you operate like this. But guess what? You got angry because what? You lost patience.
That's right.
Give me that in James chapter 1 and verse 19. We coming to a close, Israel.
That's right.
James 1 and 19. Where is your patience, Israel? Where is that? Ask yourself. James 1 and verse 19. We're going to read it to 20.
That's right.
Bring that up.
The book of James, chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear.
Swift to what?
Swift to hear.
Read.
Slow to speak.
Slow to speak. This going into that understanding, Israel. We sometimes we got a whole lot to say, but it's nothing. It's nothing in the spirit of patience. It's nothing in the spirit of meekness. So when it say read again, be what?
Be swift to hear. Slow to speak. Slow to wrath.
He's going to tell you why. Read on.
For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God.
And you operate out of anger. You operate out of frustration. It's not going. The Most High is not in there.
That's right.
He's not in there. You can bring a precept with your anger if you want to.
That's right.
If you dealing with anger, that precept is in vain.
That's right.
This is what we have to understand. Examining ourselves. Give me that Titus chapter 3 and verse 1 right quick. We must be patient with each other, Israel. Go ahead, out.
The book of Titus, chapter 3, verse 1. Put them in mind.
This is what we are here to do. Put you in mind. Read.
To be subject to principalities.
To be subject to principalities. Read.
And powers. To obey magistrates.
Okay. This is the element of being in order. See, the thing is, when order is applied, it's going to test your patience. Anytime, I'm telling you, I had a partner, his son came home from college, and he said, man, I ain't trying to kick him out the house, but he's too grown to be staying here. I said, hey, send some more. About 2 weeks later, yeah, he already got an appointment, man. He gonna say. Anytime you put order into play, if that spirit ain't right, it's gonna be a problem. Because the Most High God, he say, he do all things decently and what? And in order. Apply the order. Or they gonna get right, or they gonna get gone. Read on, up.
To be ready to every good work.
Okay.
To speak evil of no man.
This is what we should understand. We should not be speaking evil of no man. He might not say what you thought he should have said. He might didn't do it how you thought he should do it.
That's right.
But we shouldn't speak evil of him, because guess what? He trying just like you.
That's right.
She trying just like you. I wouldn't wear. I wouldn't wear the dress here. Maybe she like it like that. What the Bible say? Do what?
To speak evil of no man.
Come on, man. We all trying to fight for that one pity, right?
That's right.
Read on.
To be no brawlers.
Okay.
But gentle.
But what?
But gentle.
Read on.
Showing all meekness unto all men.
Just dealing with patience. Guess what? You don't even want to think about it, but guess what? Sometimes people work with Esau. Esau, your boss. You don't think you got to be patient with him? The Bible say be subject to all principalities. What's wrong with praying for Esau? Lord, touch his heart that he don't make me work on the Shabbat. Come on now. Because we got to remind ourselves. Read on. Why we should be operating like this towards all men. Why we should be patient with all men. This why. Read.
For we ourselves
Come on.
also were sometimes foolish.
Guess what? It was at one point you didn't know these scriptures. It was at one point you was at the club too. It was at one point you was a whoremonger too.
That's right.
Read.
Disobedient.
Uh-huh.
Deceived.
Uh-huh.
Serving diverse lusts.
Come on now.
And pleasures. Living in malice.
Living in malice. Read.
And envy. Hateful. And hating one another.
This is why we have to instruct and teach the understanding. You're not too far. I tell everybody, most of Israel, you only a check away from being homeless.
That's right.
So how can we be puffed up?
That's right.
Come on now. Give me Romans chapter 5 and verse 3. We're coming to the end, nigga. We can't lose this patience. We can't lose it, Israel. It's essential. Read that out.
The book of Romans, chapter 5, verse 3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations.
Notice what he says. We, not only so, we glory in tribulation. Guess why we glory in tribulation now? We know we got nicks. We know this is our last captivity. We know the Most High God didn't put the curse on us to destroy us, but to get us right.
That's right.
So we glory in what?
Tribulations.
We're going to glory in hardship. We're going to embrace the ups and downs that we get. Read.
Also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
Working what?
Worketh patience.
Read.
And patience experience.
Read.
And experience hope.
Come on now. Read on.
And hope make it not ashamed. Because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us.
Last precept, Israel, we're going to close out with James 5, and we'll start at verse 7. Patience, an essential key to our soul. If you don't have patience, Israel, this walk going to be very hard, and you're not going to be able to complete the mission. Bring it out.
The book of James, chapter 5, verse 7. Be patient, therefore.
Do what?
Be patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth,
which is us, man. Read.
and had long patience.
And have long what?
And had long patience
Read.
for it until he received the early and latter rain.
Read on, verse 8.
Be ye also patient.
Notice what the Bible is telling us. Read.
Establish your hearts.
Establish your mind. If you're not patient, I don't care how many precepts you know, it's going to be all in vain. Because you don't have the patience that Yahweh and the Most High showed to us.
That's right.
Finish it out.
For the coming of the Lord draweth nigh.
And on that, Israel, we say, Shalom.
Shalom.
Trump, damn it.